Hello. I'm gonna make this quick because I just saw that Rob is going live in 43:53. I can count minutes. Hey Siri, set a countdown for half an hour. The video is gonna end at that point.
30 minutes, starting now.
Regardless, but I was talking to Rob about it, so I don't need to do this. But I was already thinking about doing this, so I'm gonna do it anyway. But I had a dream last night one of the dreams I had last night slash this morning was that I was going to a park with my cousins. Cousins that honestly, not that I'm not close with these cousins or anything like that. Um, but one second. So, Eve, hi. Right? I know, right? It's because I'm not at work. So, I had this dream, and I was going to the park with some cousins that I see, but I don't travel with like that. And we got out the car. They were talking about something I don't remember. We get out the car, we see a bear, and then we get back in the car, and I'm like, "Oh snap! What?" And then I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe it's a bear here." But in reality, I'm like, if you roll up in a bear's habitat, it's not like we're in the middle of a city and a bear popped up. It was like one of those state park or like city, like one of those naturey places, not like a different kind of park. Um, and the bear popped up, and we got back in the car. The bear was actually like pretty friendly, but it's a bear, so we were like, we don't know what to do. So we just sat there watching it, and I was like, do we have to be quiet? Is it gonna hear us through the car, or like on the outside of the car? And there was this other guy, and the bear like walked up to him, and it stood on its hind legs. It stood on its hind legs, and it like did one of those. And I thought the other guy was just like didn't know what to do, was probably afraid, was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to upset the bear. Maybe not. And then another car pulled in, and this little girl got out the car, and I was like, it's a bear out there. I was like, it's a bear out there. Girl, you better get back in the car. How are you doing, Eve? And so, I have the Wild Unknown Tarot. So I shuffle the animal spirits and the tarot. I'm gonna pull to get the bear, the animal before and after is gonna give me some information, and then I'm gonna pull to the same spot in the tarot. So I'm gonna count, and then I have these if I feel like it. And I'm gonna pull from the top. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 50, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 60, 1, 2. It's the 62nd out of 63 cards that I have. So, oh, okay. The dolphin, the bear, and the black egg. This is literally the three cards at the bottom of the deck. So The top of the deck being what's more like consciously recognizable, the bottom of the deck being what's more behind the valley, subconscious thing that we may not necessarily have. It's harder to grasp, not as surface level. Just working and listening. Hey, Kirsty. Hey, Holly, how you doing? Just looking before, see what the bear's up to, because I saw a bear in a dream. So that was 62. 62 is an 8, right? I'm gonna actually pull this one. I'll do from the top and the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know. Hold up, wait. I don't know how this is gonna work. Give me a second. I'm trying to beat the clock. Rob goes live at noon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 16, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40. 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 60. 1, 62, 63. And then I'll do from the bottom 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is more difficult. I'll just flip it over and do it this way. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 40, 1, 2, 3, Lord, 9, 6, 7, 8, 9, 50, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 60, 1, 2, 3. Hello, Amy. How are you? It is. It's gonna be popping off. It's gonna be popping off. That what? That's too much. Hello, friends. Sorry, don't know what that is. The elephant and the 3 of Cups are left at the bottom of the decks, but these were from the top. Uno momento, por favor. These were from the bottom. So the bottom of the deck, from the bottom of the deck, 60, 1, 2, and 3, which is 7, 8, 9. Oh. Okay. This is all wands. These are all wands. The bottom of the deck is the Ace of Wands, the 4 of Wands, and Judgment, which is typically or traditionally fire, the element of fire. The top of the deck was the Mother of Wands, the Daughter of Wands, and the 6 of Wands. This is all fire with the 3 of Cups at the the 3 of Cups at the bottom of the deck. So 3 cups and all this fire. What came around the bear is the dolphin and the black egg, but 7, 8, 9 is interesting. Because of a dream I had, a few dreams I had actually a minute ago. It's 2022. So it would have been a year and a half to 2 years ago. My brain has been so bad with time. My brain has been so bad with time lately. So the dolphin, the bear, and the black egg. I mean, if it was just these 3, I would almost say that there's something that's been hidden behind almost the. Excuse me. There's something that's been hidden behind like a playful nature, and it's the element of water. I have the dolphin in 3 cups. The bottom of the animal deck is fire. It's the elephant, and it seems like it's more temperance. It's like when I'm in water, there's something that remains dormant. And I was talking to Rob about it. I was like, Rob, I saw one of your animals in my dream last night. And he was like, that's probably your animal. And I was like, yeah, probably. But if I learned anything from yesterday, animals mean towers right now. I'm kidding, kind of. But he was talking about how the bears and boundaries and hibernation. And it's like wintertime right now, but in the dream, there wasn't any snow on the ground. So I don't know if it was early spring, but after he said that, it made me think that the bear would have been coming out of hibernation. And when we like parked and were getting out of the car, the bear was actually heading that way. Like it was in transit, it was moving. And we kind of sort of met at the park. And then I got back in the car. But maybe it's to birth something that hasn't been. See, I don't. It doesn't feel like it would be something that I'm completely unfamiliar with, but it does feel like it would be something that I wouldn't allow myself to engage or indulge in too much because it feels like it would be at least felt as not great. I don't like being fiery. I mean, I do when I am, but I don't when I'm not. You know what I mean? It's like a guilty pleasure for me. Oh, snap. Well, there you go. Glad to. It sounds like a journey, Amy. Welcome to there. So yeah, I feel like it's almost more of yesterday. And I did see the Emperor when I was shuffling the Wild Unknown. I saw the Emperor at the cut and something else. And then after I saw the Emperor, I was like, oh, I should pay attention. And then I saw the Lovers and the High Priestess at the cut. The Lovers and the High Priestess being the Lovers was the card that was like at the bottom, in the center, in the middle, the force behind the force, whatever. I should do that. And then the High Priestess was the last card before I shut it down because I was like, she clarified the moon. Um, but going back to that Emperor energy, it just feels like there's something that hasn't. And it's funny, I guess, that I was talking about Caris letting Persephone go so that Persephone could like fully start the next phase of her life with her husband in their kingdom or whatever, right? Their domain. And how it's time for Caris to start the next phase of her life, where she finds out and discovers who she is besides the mother of Persephone. Like she's so much more, but she clings to her old identity so hard that she doesn't allow the space for the new one to really blossom, and so it holds both of them. And maybe in some ways I'm kind of stagnating. I could see it like I stagnate myself because I know there are like four like life path numbers, 4 pillars or whatever. And I think my second and third numbers are ones. And when I first saw it, I was like, ew, one leadership. I don't want that. Ew, no. But as I lived life, especially 2020, when the North Node shifted into Gemini, I was like, you know what? I could do it because there are some things that need to be said. There are some things that need to be done, and ain't nobody doing it. And so I'm a lot less averse to the one now. And interestingly, like numerologically, my full name is a 100. It's a 33, 34, 33. And I was like, oh, it was almost 33, 33, 33. Um, but it's almost like there's maybe a power. I don't want to say power, but yeah, I will say power. There's a power within me that's like trying to come to the surface or trying to break free. There's something that, because like I said before, with the King of Swords and the Queen of Cups being two different sides, well, kind of being two different sides of High Priestess energy. The Queen of Cups we usually see, but the Queen of Cups can be really passive. It doesn't really interact or interfere, where the King of Swords isn't bound by the same thing. And it's almost like the Queen of Cups goes by a non interaction because of the limitations of us seeing. And it's not for everybody. It could not be for anybody, but it read like and it felt like we can't see or foresee our own path so finely the way that we can see everything outside of us. It's just like when you walk around in the world, the only way you can see yourself is through a mirror or some reflective surface, or you can look at like, the parts of your body that you can look at, but there's something about the self that you can never see without something outside of you. And it's like that's the limitation of the Queen of Cups High Priestess. It's like if I interact, then it enters a territory that I have less of an ability to foresee and predict. But the King of Swords and his knowing and understanding of the world outside of him, he's able to theorize or conjuncture. I don't think I'm using the right word. I'll just stick with theorize and hypothesize a reaction to his action. And so, although he can't necessarily see himself like fully, he has a better idea and understanding of how he'll be received. And in his shadow, I guess he could be manipulative in a way where he can do something to get a result that he wants. Right. But it's not about that. Between the two of them, it's like being able to see ourselves in the world and having like our intuition and our ability to foresee stretching a little further. But it's outside of the element of water, which is what I'm extremely comfortable. Conjecture. Thank you. Which is what. Oh, snap. Okay, Amy. Um, which is what me like trying to confine myself to water is doing. It's interesting though, because at the top of or from the top of the deck, it's this retrograde regressive energy. But from the bottom of the deck, it's this progressive energy. Right? Because we go at the top from the mother to the daughter to the six. And on the bottom, it's the ace, judgment, and the four. Around the black egg, though, which again it's fair, the four of wands and the six of wands. Altogether, it's 10 wands. There is victory in it or on the other side of it, and there is some cause for celebration, but it doesn't take away from the difficulty. It doesn't take away from the challenge. It doesn't take away from the task, because a task is what a task is, but it can become more or less challenging depending on many factors and variables. Clinging to the dolphin being one that might make it more challenging. Around the dolphin, it's two wands between the mother and the ace. But again, just like Ceres and Persephone, it's like the mother of wands is smothering the wand. And so it's true radiance and it's true brilliance, like it doesn't get the opportunity to shine. Oh, Rob and dolphins. Oh my gosh. Okay. And then around the bear is the daughter of wands and judgment. With the three of cups and the elephant at the bottom, it's like there is something. This is interesting because there's more of that energy. And that was around the lovers. There was the one bird thing at the top of the statue that had the light on the tip of its wing. And then there was the other one that didn't. And then in the high priestess, it's like both pillars were lit. But like if I had to say, like these would both be my pillars, and this would be something outside coming to light it. Or trying to, oh look, in the world. The world card I saw, like every from the pocket gilded tarot royale, behind the world is the magician. Behind the magician is the ace of pentacles. And behind the ace of pentacles, the high priestess, still with the lovers and the emperor. The nine of wands behind that. The nine of wands was at the bottom of the deck behind whatever it was behind yesterday. So it would seem that there are many. It feels like it kind of sort of boils down to um where I am is not where I will always be. And for me to move forward and step forward and to come into and claim not more parts of myself, but it's like if on my path and journey I'm meant to have a voice, right? And to use it. If me being in my voice and using my voice is important later because it's so key, so central to who I am and what I do and why I'm recognized for whatever I'm recognized for, midheaven and Capricorn. Um, it's like I have to begin to come into that somewhere. It has to start somewhere. Something has to be the first crack in the egg before it breaks free, right? And it's like this is like that time. There were parts of me, like the angry part of me, a tisket, a tasket. I think it's a green and yellow. I've heard of green and yellow, but is the hat red or is it green? It's both. That's something I've been thinking about. I was like, how, like, if the hat was red and green, how would you see it as red and green when you can only see one side of the hat at a time? You would know it's red and green if you trusted the other person on the other side instead of arguing with them. If I see red but someone else sees green, maybe it's both. Maybe one of us is colorblind. Maybe we're both colorblind. Maybe the color of the hat doesn't even matter. Anyway, um, so with the daughter of wands and judgment and coming out like on top of bear, it is like it's a part of it's time for something to come out of hibernation. It's time for something to meet the world and to no longer be smothered or hidden or drowned, to no longer be drowned by water. Um, Growing up, I used to have an extremely short temper. Sun in Pisces, trine Mars in Cancer. So I could be very temperamental. And as soon as I was mildly upset, I would just explode. The trine was too easy. I was too sensitive. Pisces and Cancer, boom. Um, and so I went like heavy into Libra. This is how I explain it, or how I think about it in hindsight, right? My Jupiter is in Libra, but my Jupiter is retrograde. So I went heavy into Libra, pulling on Pisces, pulling on understanding, like giving reason after reason, excuse after excuse, and minimizing basically everything that I was feeling and creating such large reasons why somebody could be how they were and why they were, and not always creating, sometimes being able to empathize and find like this is why they're like this. But at some point it's like it crosses a line, it crosses a boundary, and I can't keep allowing that to happen. But in a way it's like I use the water so hard to try to connect with the other that it disconnected from self. And like, fun fact, I almost went to juvie 5th grade. Ooh. If things had gotten any more out of hand, I would have went to juvie, and who knows where I would have ended up. But after that, the fire in my chart, like I used to be extremely extroverted, loved people, like extremely active, always outside. But after that happened, introvert, never goes outside, isolated, even from family. A lot of life happened in a fairly short amount of time that made me think that there was no path, and that the best course of action would to be as alone as possible and to not connect fully to anybody, even the people I was the closest to. um but anyway, so like there was a part of me that was like forced into hibernation. And the one thing about like opening up and like, because my Venus is in Aries, but just for some whatever, um I don't rebel without a cause, but I don't comply when I think it's stupid. I come to my own conclusions. I take in the information and I process it in my own way, and I make the decision that I think is best. If it aligns, I comply. If it doesn't, I don't. Um, but when you're a child and the adults are like, "Well, I'm the adult, and what I say goes." My mom was like, "You didn't even listen to me," so. um, oh, I got less than 3 minutes. Um, so there's a part that was forced into hibernation, because juvie into prison jail into like that was not the path for me. But because of that, I was able to grow and develop in other ways, right? Um, but early 2020, I could feel like the fire spark in my chart, and I was connecting to people more. I was like getting like 2019 summer, I started to like get out and enjoy more like activities, enjoy more foods, and like to really not fall in love with life again, but to be of the mind to experience life rather than to shut myself away from it. And then at a certain point, I was like, but if I'm too open, maybe the fire is going to come back. Maybe the anger is going to come back. And I was so concerned about it. But it was this like you've grown, you've developed, you've matured. Like you're not the child who you were before. Like you have tools to handle and deal with, conflict, and to abate yourself when you need to be whatever. And so I would let it out. And maybe this is another way. It's like it's a way, especially with the specific situation, in a way. It's a way to use it not only for the enforcing of my own boundaries, but for just like helping a system shift in a more just way in general for multiple people, and to improve things overall for multiple people. And in a lot of ways, I was the last person to do or say anything. I was the last person to do or say anything. And now I feel like I'm doing the most. And I don't try, but it's just like no, this is ridiculous. So that's the part of me that's like it's coming out of hibernation. It allows what was smothered by the mother to like be released. at the daughter of Wands. And it feels like there's, because this is like transformation, right? And this is what, because I know I talked to Corey a minute ago. And that's what I told him. Like, I've been in the position, I was already of the mind. Time to go. I said I would shut it down. I had to honor that. Okay. I'll catch you all later. I hope you have a good whatever. Whenever you see this, I hope you're acting in alignment to make all that you wish to experience your reality. This is all about me anyway, so you're not losing out on anything. Um, and thank you all for being here. I will catch you when and where I catch you. Bye.